Hi, this is Marian, and I'm here to talk about my book today. I started reading this book yesterday. It's the Penguin Book of Japanese Short Stories, and it's edited by Jay Robin, and it's introduced by Haruki Murakami, my favorite author of all time, of any like genre. It's like really good. I mean, it has a lot of Japanese authors, a lot of short stories, a lot of genres. I'm almost halfway through, even though it's like quite thick, and the writing is not that big. It's not that big. But it's been such a beautiful experience. I've been reading it at night, to get in the mood with a lot of like classical music, and I've been loving it. I mean, I definitely, recommend it to anyone who's interested in delving into Japanese literature. I'm very into Japanese literature. I've read a lot of Japanese books, and I really like classical from Japan. So yeah, I mean, I will probably write it on my blog, write about it on my blog, maybe even make a video about how I felt and which authors I might get into, because I've been annotating. I usually don't annotate on any of the books I read, but so I've been annotating on authors I'm interested in, and I feel like I could, get into more of their works, and also about themes and quotes that are very interesting. And yeah, so see how it goes. Right now, I'm on Nature and Memory. This book is separated through themes. I already read Men and Women, Japan and the West, and the other one was Loyal Warriors, and it's pretty interesting how Jay Robin separated all these stories, and then how he put everything together and made it work in such a lengthy book that doesn't make it boring or annoying. Because sometimes with short stories, if it's not by the same author, and it doesn't have the same theme, you get kind of like annoyed, and you're like, I'm done with this. I just want to read a book, a whole plot. I don't want to be reading a new plot every 10-15 minutes. But this is really good. Like, I haven't gotten bored. Even when I switch themes, I'm like, ooh, this is new, but I like it. And I mean, so far my favorite short story is the first story in this book. It's by, wow, I don't even know if I can pronounce this right. It's by Tanisaki Junichiro. And actually, I heard about this author before, because I read a lot of Japanese books. But I have never read anything by him before this. And this is the story of Tomada and Matsunaga, and it's so good, but it's about this guy who receives a letter. He's an author himself, and it's about this woman who's looking for her husband who has vanished every like 4 years or so. Like, he comes back and he vanishes, and so she believes that this guy knows him, and it's a whole like mystery that comes with it, and it's beautiful written. It was written beautifully, but it was translated by Paul Warham. I have never heard of this translator, but I'm definitely gonna look more into what else he's translated from the Japanese, because I'm usually very used to Philip Gabriel and Jay Robin, because they translate Haruki Murakami, and I've also read a lot of translations by from Banana Yoshimoto, with a lot of translators that I'm already used to. But this was beautiful. I don't know when this was translated, but I would definitely recommend it if you want to read something that's not too long. And yeah, so this is all for today. I'll come back with a lot more about this book when I finish it. I'm barely halfway through, and I know that towards the end there's a lot about the atomic bombs and everything like that. So I want to see what has been written about it from Japan. Yeah, and also it has a lot of recommendations from a lot of different Japanese authors also here that I can get into. I haven't read many of these because I don't really read that many short stories. I do read a lot of novels, so I could probably get into that later on. But yeah, this is all. Bye.